Hello, everyone, for the second time. I am starting over with the Autumnal Dunmer run with the same criteria carried over from my last timeline, or whatever you call it, the timeline alternate reality. Um, I initially recorded this video, and there was a power surge. I'm assuming that's what it was. Because it wasn't a full-fledged blackout, because the power is still on and everything. See, I went over here to change the hair, and that's when everything went to hell and back. No! You can't heckin' change the hair on the Dunmer! Ah! And then everything went to shit. Of course, that's not actually what happened. It was, I think it was the space heater. That was on, along with the TV, along with the Xbox connected to the PC, which was also turned on, and I think that... Note that they were not all plugged into the same outlet. They're all in different outlets. However, they're on the same grid. They are on the same circuit. The same whatever. I don't know what you call it. I'm going to call it a grid. They're on the same grid, so... Yeah. I've noticed this has happened. The last time it happened was I had, I'm guessing, too many things going, along with the space heater. Turning off the space heater so far, and fingers crossed. Find my cute kawaii elf hair. Here we go. Perfect. Your parents didn't love you. They called you Prisoner Vedrano. Why? Well, just look in a mirror. You're a Dunmer! Your life revolves around suffering. We are not using the cheat spell or cheat room at all. We're not using the summon gold spell at all in this run. That is another part of the criteria of my initial Autumnal Dunmer run. No, we're not loading it. You're fucking deleting it, you cunt. This is post-update, by the way. This is the most recent update. Let me turn that down a bit so I don't have to argue with the scream over the audio. This is the most recent update for PS5, PS4, I assume PS4. I'm playing on old school Xbox One. So, if I got that update, I'm pretty sure PS4 has also gotten it, since Xbox, you know, the series, whatever, S, X, and PS5 has also gotten this update. I believe GOG has also gotten this update, but Steam will be getting a later update because Bethesda is actually being the good guy here, and they're working with the folks who developed Skice, or SKSE. I always pronounce it Skice, the Skyrim script extender, which is not doable. It's not doable for here for whatchamacallit, console. It's impossible. This whole thing, alternate start, has been freshly updated. I've removed the custom loading screen, the Dova Bear loading screen, which I love so much, but it's not compatible with the new game, so I got rid of it. And it was like stretched out or compressed wrong, and I didn't like it, so I got rid of it. I got rid of a quality world map because, as I understand, and this was news to me, that it's constantly checking. So for something, I'm not really sure the math on that or the logic behind it. I did not develop that mod. But I've learned from some people on the unofficial Skyrim mods Reddit that has been like the cause of some CTDs crashes. No, people don't call them CTDs on Xbox. You still call it CTD. You crashed a dashboard, that's still a CTD. And so, I don't really... Let's put it this way. How much time do you spend, like here? This is the normal vanilla map. It's good enough. It's not as pretty as the quality one, but it's good enough. Okay? How much time do we spend just, wow, look at that map. Isn't she sexy? You don't spend that much time. So, yeah, I got rid of it. And also, minimize crashing would be great. Because I had my load order perfected before the first of these two updates. And then my load order got kind of scrambled. And I kind of half-assed it, and then I realized that it was jumbling things. Because Bethesda.net enabled this... Well, Bethesda themselves enabled this option to save or archive your load order onto Beth.net. Which, I've only used it for saving. I haven't really used it for reloading, because if I'm done with a character, I completely delete it, start over, and I also delete the mods I'm no longer going to use. So everything, the majority of the stuff I would reuse anyway is just still on my Xbox, so there's no reason for me to use that, but for other people it works. So I think we're going to escape like we did last time.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin. So be it.
We're going to try to escape. I'm going to give this a shot, and if it doesn't work out, and it's an apprentice level. She only gives you 3 fucking lockpicks, dude. And you're fucked. Oh my god. Why isn't it an apprentice level lock? It could have been novice level, and it still would have been a challenge. If you have no points put into lockpicking, it would still pose a challenge. Oh, you motherfucker. I am too good at video games. I am just too good. I only had to restart once. And then there's a whole bunch of them over here. I believe when I last did the Autumnal Dunmer. See, what I don't like about this is... Oh, not a fucking quick save. I hate quick saves. Quickest and easiest way to corrupt your game is through quick saving. You know, this comes up, this is a really helpful mod, but it pops up at, like, the most inopportune times. Hey, I realize that you're, like, in the middle of a battle, but do you want to configure the sounds of Skyrim real quick? Like, what? I'm just trying to get the fuck out of this dungeon. As I just said. I don't use the Easter eggs. I think it's an Easter egg from Daggerfall or Fortnite or one of those fucking games kids play nowadays. And I don't want anything that's like too fourth wall breaking in my game. Which is why I don't use all those, ooh, it's Dwemer fucking machine gun. It's lore friendly because the Dwemer made it. Like, okay. I thought that there were more... I thought there were more ghosts in here. Yes, take everything, even the bone meal. Now, I explained a little bit of Autumnal Dunmer. Obviously, there's my older videos, but for people who do not know, this character, even though I do have, like, the cheat menu, and I have, like, you know, access to all of that, and the gold spell, which is very fucking helpful if you want to, for especially for testing purposes, but let's be real, who the fuck wants to, like, oh no, I have to wait forever to get, like, 35,000 gold. I have to wait forever. I think you can make money in this game fairly quickly and easily. So, you can also sell things that you find. I don't even really have any mods that affect the economy in that way. Which, if I did, they wouldn't go against the rules, per se, because all they would be doing is either A, giving merchants more gold to barter with, or allowing for them to have like a 24-hour restock instead of it being... I'm afraid that there's going to be another power surge. I'm going to save it. Like, it doesn't matter, because if it power surges, this whole recording is fucked. So it doesn't fucking matter. I don't think there will be, though, because I turned off the space heater. It's winter here in Utah, and it's fucking freezing. So, I'm fully clothed. And I'm sure that brings great comfort and relief to people. They don't have to imagine my corpulent, nude body sitting here role-playing as a Dunmer. No, I am covered, not from head to toe, but from upper body to toe. Come on, bitch. See, I'm just using the basic flame spell. And it's very effective. Oh, I believe that was the boss of the dungeon. I do have mods that modify that alter training. So it's more like how training was in Morrowind or Daggerfall. Morrowind training was very exploitable. I can't remember if it was quite as exploitable in Oblivion. In Skyrim, I don't remember it being all that exploitable. Like, back in the day when I played Skyrim, like, I mean back in the day, when I was, not quite as old as I am today, I played it for Xbox when it initially released. And all of my characters made it to about... My oldest character, I think, was a Khajiit, and he made it to, like, level 80, and then I was like, I don't like cat people, so I became a Dunmer ever since. Actually, my first character was an orc, because I played around with the different races, because Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game I bought. Actually, no, I tell a lie. Oblivion was the first one I bought. I had Morrowind gifted to me. I did not buy it myself. It was gifted to me. And when I read up on the lore and like, oh, this is like the first game, this is the blah blah, I went back and I played and beat those games first. I did not beat Daggerfall. I did not beat... I beat Oblivion. I didn't beat Daggerfall or Arena. That's what I meant to say. I beat Morrowind. I beat Tribunal. I did not beat Blood Moon yet. And I beat it first on... I have not beat it on console yet, but I beat it on PC. I wish these books were worth more in here like they are in Daggerfall. If you find books in Daggerfall, you are set. You are, like, set, man. You're gonna walk out of that store with so much gold. In Skyrim, it's like, oh, I'll give you, like, a shilling, if even that, you peasant. Okay, so we've looted this place pretty thorough. So as I was saying, back to the whole Autumnal Dunmer run, the parameters of that run, like I had stated previously, and like how I had stated in the beginning of the video and in the other videos, no cheating. Now here's the thing. Let me elucidate you on that, on what I mean by cheating. An exploit or a glitch is not cheating. Having, like, real-world meta-knowledge of an exploit, which is pretty much impossible because I'm playing with the unofficial patch, so most of those exploits have been removed, have been patched out anyway. So I would not be able to... You know what? I'm going to take those merchants' clothes. Not bad. Okay. There is more stuff for me to steal. I feel like not leaving like a criminal. So I think I'm going to leave through the normal means, which is through the front door. I feel like I've earned it, considering that I managed to pick my way out of that cell. And this always bugs me that there's a chest here that's clearly been looted. Well, I mean, there's stuff in it, but you know what I mean. And this is the cause for the abandonment of this prison, which some people have theorized its real name might be White Wiver. I have kind of like an Elmer Fudd impediment because I'm missing some teeth, and I already have dyslexia, which I'm not sure if that affects the way you speak. I think it does, but anyway. Yeah, so White River Prison, I think it's called. So for anyone, if this is your first Autumnal Dunmer video, I'm starting new. Starting over from scratch. Everything before that is lost. It's in an alternate reality. Yay for that Dunmer merchant in Windhelm. That means he's not dead. Yay! I can't remember his name, but he's not dead anymore. Just strolling out of prison like a... Fuck you, I don't want survival mode. I want to have a fun, relaxing, enjoyable time playing a video game. I don't want it to turn into fucking The Last of Us. Assuming that's what The Last of Us is like. I don't know and I don't care. I have zero intentions of playing those games. As you can obviously hear... Oh, he's got a lot of loot on him. Hide armor, I will take that. I'm sorry if y'all were expecting some naked bodies. Some scandalous stuff, but Xbox forbids it. And, yeah, there's no scandalous mods on here, I'm afraid. Not bad. Kind of reminds me of Nazim. Do you play Skyrim very often? What am I saying? Of course you don't. I think that voice should be like reserved strictly for male elf characters because they're such snooty fucking assholes. Starfang, that's profiling. That's racist. And?
What's a milk drinker like you doing out here? Go home. Why? What are you gonna do? Cry? I don't have to take that from you. Never should have come here.
I have no idea why Bethesda implemented these random encounters with these random no-named... I realize this character's name is Redguard, but let's be honest, that is the ethnicity, the race of the character. Like, when this person was born, his parents didn't go, you know what? Fuck it, let's just call him Redguard. That's why Morrowind was so superior in that regard, because everybody had a name, pretty much. Like, everybody had a name. And the ones that didn't have special names were just generic monsters anyway that would respawn anyway. So, everybody had a name. And this right here, folks, is one of the better aspects of Skyrim, the exploration. The no-holds-barred, undaunted, boundless exploration. So we've been recording for about 22 minutes so far. I don't want to jinx myself, though. I'm just like so... So, as you can see how many saves I have. 11 saves. That's what you learn from going from original Xbox Skyrim to Xbox One Skyrim. And the new patch, the first of these two updates, had problems. There was some freezing, but I attributed that to mods because for the most part the game was smooth. Like, I've had very smooth gameplays with my load order, and I think it was the last two load orders on this console, OG Xbox One, and would seldom ever run into a crash. It was stable for because on the unofficial Skyrim Reddit or the Skyrim mods Reddit, they have the tags for OG Xbox stable 20 stable load order 20 hours plus or whatever.
Here we go.
How do you like dying? Just randomly like that. Oh, look, my hands are invisible. Well, that's annoying. I can't see my feet in first-person mode anyway. Should I wipe these people out? They have the nerve to act like they own the road, and clearly they don't. Another thing that people don't realize about Skyrim that has carried over from other older Elder Scrolls games is that, and this also applies to Fallout as well. I don't know about the isometric Fallout games, but Fallout 3 in New Vegas and Fallout 4, when you approach people with your weapon drawn, they are less receptive to you. And that's always been a little aspect of the game that I like. Because that's one of the things that's true to real life. If someone comes running at you with a fucking battle axe, I mean, are you going to be open to answering their questions. So, hey, sure. Here, have a beer. Have some grog. No, you're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. Hey. Funny.
Maik saw a mud crab the other day. Horrible creatures.
Funny cat man. Look, there's no enemies here. You can...
Maik loves the people of Skyrim. Many interesting things they say to each other. Maik does not understand what is so impressive about shouting. Maik can shout whenever he wants. Maik is tired now. Go bother somebody else.
So, I have some thoughts about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. I realize that TES 6 isn't out yet and probably won't be out till, well, so the new rumors, the new supposed, and I'm using air quotes here, leaked, supposedly from my uncle totally works at Microsoft, is that they're pushing for a 2026 release, because they want Starfield to still sell, but they want to get a quick redemption out there using their bread and butter franchise and, you know, profit off of that. Here's the thing, though. And I know people are going to sit here and say, but people have been bitching about... Is he going to arrest me?
What is it?
Okay, good. Sometimes these guards are just hostile to you for no reason. See, I love the new shields. Look at that. And I believe that's... I want to say it's Nordwar UA, Sons of Skyrim. Let me turn the volume down a bit more. Okay. I don't like competing with the game. So, Starfield came... depending on where you go, the reception of that is, wow, Fallout 4 in space. Kind of, not really. Or, wow, this game fucking sucks. What was Todd thinking? Bethesda has lost the plot. Now, I get it. There's going to be echo chambers wherever you go. There's going to be people who see zero problems with anything, any product that any company that they love releases. I've seen this with the Dragon Age franchise. I mean, I get it. Like, I liked Dragon Age Inquisition. I liked it better than Dragon Age 2 because Dragon Age 2 felt too cramped, and I got kind of tired of seeing the same shit over and over and over. I mean, after a time, you kind of, like, warm up to it, which I have come to love Dragon Age 2. Not as much as Inquisition, and definitely not as much as Origins. Origins is an Awakening or king of that franchise. But let's be real. If you have been playing it from the beginning, meaning that you have been a fan of, or at least a player of Dragon Age games since Origins, so meaning that you've been around to witness and experience the coming of Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, and that, what was it, like a top-down free-to-play Facebook game? I think that's gone by now. I'm not sure. Dragon Age Heroes or something, and then whatever. And then know that the current game, which probably should have released, I know they never gave a release date, but speculation among the community is it probably was supposed to have released 2 or 3 years ago, considering it's now 2014. Okay? Come, what is it, October or November? Maybe September? You know, let me pull up the wiki real quick. I want to get a definitive answer on this. Dragon Age Inquisition. Because I don't want to guess. Okay, 2014. When 2014? I need a date. Okay, November. I was right. Because I remember I pre-ordered that shit. Because I was like, you know what? Dragon Age 2 was okay, but it was kind of bad compared to Origins and Awakening. But Inquisition will fix all that, right? Right? No. So I pre-ordered it originally for 360 because I did not have an Xbox One at the time. And like less than 2 years later, I got an Xbox One, and I had already gotten Dragon Age Inquisition for Xbox One. I ended up buying that fucking game 3 times. That's not even my favorite in the franchise. I bought Dragon Age Inquisition 3 times. I initially pre-ordered it. One of the last pre-orders I ever made. The absolute last pre-order I made, I think, was Final Fantasy 15. And I played a bit into it, and then I kind of let other people's feedback in the community influence my decision to drop the game until the final update patch dropped. Because a lot of people were saying it's an incomplete game, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking go through, beat an incomplete game, and then have to do it again. So I dropped that. A few years later, I think it was 2018 or 2017, I found, it wasn't much long after the Royal Edition dropped, I got it for like $10 at Walmart. I wish I was joking. I found Royal Edition for $10 at Walmart, picked that up, beat the base game, have not beat any of the DLC. I haven't even attempted to do the DLC yet. And it was at that time, and Inquisition should have been, hey, don't pre-order stuff. Do not... Actually, to be fair, THQ, the people who worked on the SmackDown vs. Raw series, which transitioned into W current year franchise, like W2K14, 15, 2024, whatever. That should have been... Oh, so she's a nationalistic witch. I thought witches were supposed to be like free spirits and like open-minded and stuff, and more like hippies. But then they do mutilate and decapitate animals. So anyway, I really should have learned this lesson, which I kind of did, but I didn't learn it on a like worldwide basis, for lack of a better word. It was basically on a publisher basis. I was like, okay, I'm never pre-ordering any more THQ wrestling games because they are literally the same game carried over with less features from the last one. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was 2K. I think the last one I pre-ordered was 2K. It was another 2K game. I bought those with Christmas money. The last one I bought was 2K14 with Christmas money. And then I got 2K18 one year. And then the last one I got was 2K22. Which is, I got that. I'm not going to lie. I got that solely for the David Arquette mod. Because it allows mods. You can download people's creations. So I kind of put together my own little, like, Attitude Era roster, sort of. So, to get back on point, because I'm digressing a lot here, I learned that lesson, but it was like, okay, I'm just not going to pre-order any more 2K SmackDown games, because it's going to be the same. Hey.
Imperials think we need their laws.
And, the lesson should have been, just don't fucking pre-order until you have had a chance to experience the game. And the thing is, around this time, companies like, well, video stores like Blockbuster, I don't know if Hollywood Video was doing that because I didn't rent games from Hollywood Video. I always rented movies. It made you have to put up a credit card in order to rent 360 and PS3 games. And I think that was kind of like the beginning of the end. and they came up with some fucking bullshit nonsense about, oh, because it's like, all they said was like it was corporate policy. Okay, I get that, but it was never a policy before. And they were all like, oh, let me tell you something. These people are absurd. They're stupid. The managers at Blockbuster at the time are fucking stupid. They're imbecilic. They're imbeciles. Let me tell you why. Anybody who's ever owned a PS3 or 360 can vouch for me. If you rent a game, like say I go, even Wii, Nintendo Wii, that's a great example. I had an experience with a very cunty Blockbuster manager over a Wii game that I had purchased, and I no longer wanted because it did not have online capabilities, which I thought it did. I went through, was not satisfied with it, attempted to return it. The lady basically screamed at me saying, I know what you're trying to do. You're basically a thief. She basically called me a thief. She said, you're trying to scam us. You're trying to pull one over me because I know goddamn well that you can take those home and burn them onto the thing and then sell the disc. Okay, everybody listening who owns or has owned a PS3, Wii, or 360, if you play a disc-based game, you need the fucking disc to continue playing that game. True or false? Now, there are some exceptions. Even with Xbox One, there are some exceptions. For example, if you have Dragon Age Inquisition in the game, you can play it without the disc sometimes. But if it's been a while, it's going to prompt you to pop the disc back in. So unless you buy it digitally and own it digitally, you can't play it without the disc. Now, maybe they were confusing with downloading installing it to hard drive, which was supposed to like smoothen frame rates and performance. That doesn't mean, oh, the whole game is free, it's downloaded on your console. No, again, if you say it with me, if it is a disc-based game, you need the fucking disc to play the game. Installing it to the hard drive only makes it run smoother. It only helps with performance. It doesn't let you rip off the company. Which, apparently, that's what Blockbuster was concerned with. And I'm gonna die. Bye! So that was fun. I literally had a Blockbuster manager lady scream at me in not so many words that basically calling me a thief. She threatened to call the cops until you get out right now or I'm calling the cops because I know what you're trying to do. And basically, I never went to that fucking store again because she was, I'm not sorry, she was a cunt. If you're, first of all, you're threatening me over false shit, making up shit that's just a rumor that's not even fucking true. And threaten me over, like, something that's not even real. Oh, that book looks deformed. Yeah. So, a lot of people... I'm trying to not digress or veer too far off the topic here. I'm old. I'm pushing 40. So, it's going to happen. I think, personally, the beginning of the end for these places and the games declining was when these companies decided, oh, we need to make sure they're not ripping us off, even though they know for a fact that that's not the case, that that's not what's happening. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can no longer walk. I can no longer walk, everybody. I think we can fast travel, though, right? We're not that far away. We can walk. We can do it. I think the beginning of the decline for video games and enthusiasm for it, which how it's become so demoralized and anti-consumer, kind of started with the blockbusters and stuff. I don't know if Hollywood Video demanded that you had to put up a credit card if you wanted to get those third-gen games. I think it was third-gen, like PS3, 360, Wii. I know Blockbuster did, and by that time there weren't that many rental stores in existence. At that time, which this was like 2008, 2009 when that happened, it was literally just Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. Then Hollywood Video left in like 2000 whenever, and then Blockbuster left in 2011 or 2012. Maybe it was 2012 or 2013 they left. I can't remember. They weren't around for that much longer. And I'm trying to think, because a lot of people were like, oh, Don Matrick or whatever his name is, ruined Xbox and gaming and customer relations for everybody. I think that Phil Spencer is doing a lot more harm than Don Matrick saying a few things about this and that. Now, if you look back to 2012, the unveiling of Xbox One, there's a lot of memeable stuff. Don Matrick's showcasing of the Xbox One, Adam Orth saying, just deal with it. Oh, if people can't afford or handle always online, they shouldn't be playing video games anyway, or some shit like, some elitist fucking shit like that. Like, okay, fuck you, guy. Oh, maybe I can go over here and sell off some of this stuff. You're carrying too much to be able to run. Really? I thought I was walking at a snail's pace of my own volition. I thought that was a choice. I thought that was one of many choices that Todd Howard himself said that you could do in this game. But thank you, game, for reminding me again that I am carrying too much to be able to run. Which I wouldn't be able to really run anyway, because if I started sprinting, I would immediately run out of stamina. And, yeah. If this was Daggerfall, you would die. If you're out in the wilds or in a dungeon, well, sometimes in the wilds, I think you would just pass out, or you'd fall asleep. But if you run out of stamina in a dungeon, you die. Because the game just assumes, well, you're no longer conscious, the monsters have got you. So, yeah. People think Morrowind's hard. So, back to what I was saying, because I digressed like 3 times. Talked about the history of Xbox, talked about Blockbuster, yeah, so I started with Oblivion. Like, I had played Morrowind before that. That's the first Elder Scrolls game I played. But Oblivion is the first one that I seriously played and invested, you know, time into.
Mining is hard work, but we pay a fair price for any ore you dig up.
Oh. He's just tan. I thought he had, like, the Fruity Pebbles face glitch going on there. I was like, what the fuck? Your face literally looks like red clay. So, yeah, I started with Oblivion. I had gotten Skyrim actually fairly new.
Take a seat and get the cold out.
I didn't realize it was actually brand fucking new. When I bought it, it was like less than a year old, I think. Like barely a year old.
Poor Rogie. If you're feeling charitable, buy the Northern Mead. He's good for it. He's been in Kynesgrove forever. Great storyteller. Keeps everyone's spirits up. Owes me a lot of coin for drinks. I keep telling him not to worry about it, but he's got the stubborn Nord blood. Damn fool doesn't have the coin to pay me back, so he just beats himself up over it, and then he gets thirsty and it cycles all over again. If you could convince him that I don't care about his tab, it'd certainly make me feel better. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Oh, great. You've got 100 gold. And I can't sell you any of this shit.
All right, then.
Cool. What time is it? 7:30 p.m. Okay. I'm sure Windhelm will still be open and its markets will be open by the time I slowly molasses drip out there at a snail's face. Are your markets still open this evening? Oh, we've been closed for hours. Did you come from, like, Riften? No, I came from Kynesgrove. You see, I escaped from an abandoned prison, and I looted everything that wasn't bolted down. And that might be contributing to my disability. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Oh, you know what? There's a house down here that I always use as my player home. I can pop into there, dump some stuff off, run up to Windhelm, pawn some stuff off, come back, get the rest. Okay, there's the house right there. The White River House. Almost there. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like in third person. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, Sonny. Keep the kettle on. So yes, I was going to talk about I talked about Starfield. Basically, my impression of that, and I talked about this in a few other videos, or at least one other video, because I didn't really want to dwell on it because I haven't played it. I've only watched bits of it, and I was unimpressed with it. I thought if this was the engine that Todd was talking about, that the technology they needed for Elder Scrolls 6, I was not impressed. Because I thought, you know, all the time that's passed between fucking Fallout 4 and Starfield, and even more time between Skyrim, OG Skyrim, and Starfield, and even more time between Oblivion and Starfield, it's just, to me, it's unacceptable. It kind of makes me, and when you see how much outsourcing was done to, like, India for this shit, it really makes you realize how some things were terrible. And I'm not trying to say Indian developers suck. I'm just saying that maybe they weren't exactly too picky with who undertook the... Oh, cool. With who took the job, you know, because what they do, it's like, because they're contractors. These other developing companies that outsource people, they win bids to take it. But of course, they want to pay as little as possible for an outsourced job. I mean, they got plenty of money from ZeniMax. They got even more money with Papa Microsoft, who now owns all of them. And this leads us back to Elder Scrolls 6, where the supposed leaks is that they want Microsoft, they are pushing for a 2026 release. And if that happens, I pretty much guarantee it's going to be Starfield all over again. They only just barely started Elder Scrolls 6, presumably after Starfield released. I think I remember something about them being in development. It was like 2021 or 22. Like around the time they were finishing up Starfield. That's not that long ago. And people say, well, they made video games in under 5 years in the 90s. It's not the 90s anymore, and for some reason, even with the technology we have today, it takes forever, almost like a decade, for people to put out a game that by the time it launches, it looks like it belonged on the last generation console. So by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, if it's a rushed job, it's going to be more bland than fucking Skyrim. Because we already know it's going to be streamlined to hell and back. Like, probably press and hold A to win. I'm not even joking. I have zero faith in Bethesda at this point. And I feel like I'm entitled to that mindset. Fuck, of course they're closed.
A few septims for my supper is all I ask.
Training in this is going to be very rough. Because training requires money. And I don't have any money. So, even though this is Skyrim, we're going to be playing it as though it were Daggerfall, where you have no conjure gold spell, you have no cheat room.
Then it's true, what everyone is saying. That Aventus Artino is doing a
And we're not even going to deal with that right now. I believe I did kill Astrid in the last playthrough, because my Dunmer's belief is, and it's part of the Autumnal Dunmer criteria, we're not working with the Dark Brotherhood. So people might say, oh, you're going to lose out on stuff, you're going to... I'm trying to read the inscription, it's not letting me. I'm freezing!
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. I think I got a feeling.
Revan Sadri, that's his name. I know some people who watch this, and I'm not assuming very many, but the few people who do watch these videos of mine will probably come to the opinion of, well, why doesn't he just use those? Sure, they're cheats, but they're mods. Why doesn't he just use them anyway? Okay, why... I kind of figure watching a video game stream playthrough is pointless. Just play the game. Now, I say that as someone who is recording video game content and uploading it to YouTube. I no longer stream on Twitch. I will probably never stream on Twitch ever again. Just because I did not have very positive experiences with Twitch. It's very difficult to be seen on Twitch unless you already have like a unless you're already a notable figure in the community, which I am not. Go ahead and upload health. Destruction. Destruction is going to be what saves our hides. I think throw out most of this. Ugh. This chair is so uncomfortable. I just had the ingenious idea of taking the seat from my previous chair and putting it in the bottom of this one. Because that one actually reclined. That had a reclining mechanism. This one does not. And sitting on it makes me feel like I'm sliding off of it. Like I'm a short person, a little person, and I'm not. Which is weird. So I don't know why it would be doing that.
don't haggle. If you want a lower price, look elsewhere. All right then. I'd travel more, but who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days?
Look, are you open or not?
Haggle. If you want a lower price, look elsewhere.
You need anything, come see me.
Is that new
I'm
batch
as
of tomatoes
resourceful as
ready
I
for
am
sale
discreet.
yet, Hillary?
You know, I'm not
If you're
sure.
looking,
My husband
take a look.
intends on buying, so
God
I'll have to
damn it.
trust him.
I want to sell some shit. You gotta sell the most expensive stuff first. All right.
Thank you for your
When
custom.
you get some more in, I'll have the first crack at them.
Finally. Fortunately, it was just that heavy iron armor that was over encumbering me. So now, guess what, kids? Guess what? Guess where we're going? We're going on a road trip. Because I don't actually own a horse. So I can't do like I normally do in those Grand Theft Auto videos I used to stream. Look at how many fucking abandoned prisons. Okay. So I can't just stream myself going on a solo road trip like on a horse, so I'm gonna have to rent a cart. Whatever you call them, horse and carriage. In Daggerfall they call them carts, horse and cart. In Skyrim it's a carriage. Rent a carriage. Or just call them a taxi, even though they didn't exist yet. But technically it's an Uber, a taxi, whatever. So TLDR, if you zoned out during my earlier rant, or if you just tuned in, I said Starfield did not impress me, and Tez 6 will probably be a glorified Star Slop, just like that. It will be as bad. With the terrible neon-colored purpley UI and soulless interface and all that, and terrible, tons of fetch quests, AI garbage, and lots of paid mods.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
So we need to kick off
Climb and back.
the main
We'll be
quest. So we are going to go from here to Riverwood to
off.
the
Ever
cave
been to Whiterun before?
by Helgen
The Jarl's Palace is something to see.
to kick off the
Dragon
main
Search, they
quest.
call it. Big old dragon skull hanging on the wall.
The big old drag queen skull hanging on the wall. Well, it's 32 degrees here. It's practically summer weather. Amazing. So we're not even going to approach Windhelm, or not Windhelm, Whiterun yet. We're going to go through Riverwood and up to Helgen and kick off the alternate start mod, because I've noticed some quests tend to bug out if you don't initiate those first vanilla steps. They don't they don't initiate properly. So, and we have been streaming for just over an hour. About an hour and 2 minutes now, as I just said that. Actually, not streaming, recording, but I use streaming with recording interchangeably. Look how yassified these soldiers are. Yes, come on, Queen. So I think I talked about everything I wanted to just... there's not really much to say as far as activity on the channel. At this point, video gaming is not a lucrative career for me. And I figure that YouTube is never going to relent on their asinine and idiotic anti-adblock campaign, or witch hunt, whatever you want to call it, anytime soon. Either until the current CEO resigns out of shame and pity and embarrassment, or he is forcibly, you know, pushed into retirement out of a job, or they backpedal and say, we're just testing it, blah, blah, blah. April Fools. If I had like 1 million subscribers and had been on YouTube's payroll for a while now, which I've never been, I'm sure I've made them some money with clicks. I've got a few videos that are in the thousands, so I'm sure they've profited from that a bit. I haven't seen any profits my way. So it doesn't really affect me, but at the same time, I'm not really driven to go, oh, let's upload to YouTube today. I'm just like, no, I could care less. I like having multiple little homes, because if I'm like in a different area, there's like a different house for me to use, and I don't have to pay to go to an inn. I can just like squat there for the night. So yeah, I just have no drive or desire to go film stuff for YouTube at the moment. Considering their absolute asinine anti-adblock policies and other shit that they're doing. For a while there, I was modding and playing Fallout 4, trying to get that to be more stable, and I got it on PC and on Xbox about as stable as I believe the game can be. At least for Xbox One. And a PC that's not from, like, the future. Of course, your usual culprits for crashing, you know, Boston, whatnot, those remain to be a problem, but I just avoid those areas. See, I don't like just heading off. I don't just like to head off to, like, I know the main quest area is Bleak Falls Barrow, and if this was actually truly like Daggerfall, This is a cool concept I just thought of, and I'm sure other people have thought of it before me. But what if the abandoned prison or something similar led out to, like, Bleak Falls Barrow? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, Bleak Falls Barrow is technically like the privateer's hold of Skyrim. So you go in there, you escape, you get the dragon, you get your first shout, you get the dragon stone. But what do I do with this stuff? Well, you talk to people, and they tell you what to do.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this.
I remember I took that, and I thought they weren't looking, and they both turned hostile on me. Chasing after me, using spells, attacking me.
But the Riverwood Trader is still open. Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in. We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
If you really want this to have the genuine Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind experience, turn voices completely off, but keep everything else on. And now you're going to say, oh, but there was talking in Morrowind. There wasn't much talking. If someone, an NPC approached you, or you happen to approach the NPC...
We have to go through town and across the...
Oh, I forgot that she followed me. Lady, I know where it is. They would initiate a greeting. Like, you know, the ordinators would be like, wealth beyond measure, Outlander. Which I never quite could discern what that meant. So doesn't this just look gorgeous? This beautiful rain. The water flowing. Oh, you want a piece of me, huh? Oh, I contracted something. I got herpes. Do I have any potions that cure disease? I do not. So basically, I think the big topic about this stream is what happened? Why are you starting over with Autumnal Dunmer? You had several videos going. You kind of gave up halfway a little bit. Yeah, because of the YouTube drama, and then there was other stuff. I decided to just start brand new because I had... The update is what really prompted me to do this. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had deleted it before that because I was, if you recall, one of the last videos I uploaded, I was doing that Caves of Morrowind mod. Let me just let me Google the mod author real quick. Okay, the mod author is Speedy Gun 1. Okay, it's a very well done mod. I would even go so far as to say it's a good mod for people who like tanky combat, Souls-like combat, or... I mean, because let me just say that, like, I've never played any Elder Scrolls game where there's tons of... Well, maybe Daggerfall, but I haven't seriously played Daggerfall. I've watched videos on Daggerfall, and yes, areas can become really populated with big hitter enemies like that. Like, you know, you get zombie, you get skeleton warrior, you get vampire, whatever. Since playing Morrowind, which is the one that I officially started playing, I didn't beat Morrowind first, I actually beat that last. I beat Oblivion first, then Skyrim, then Morrowind. Which actually gave me a deeper appreciation, a greater fondness and appreciation for Morrowind. I have never encountered in any vanilla game, Skyrim, Morrowind, Oblivion, where you're just encumbered with all these heavy boss enemies. There's usually one boss, and you're kind of flanked with a couple of minions. This was like, and I was actually a decent level. I think I was in the 40s in that character, maybe, possibly. 30s or 40s, so it's not like I was, you know, a brand new baby bird. Oh, that Game of Thrones dragon just looks so sick. I love it. See, now the game has just checked me as having completed Unbound. So we'll go ahead and save that. I don't like to do any quests or really talk to NPCs. I know I talk to the merchant, but I figure that that's... I mean, I'm just going to sell some shit. I'm not getting a quest from her or anything. I don't like talking to quest giver NPCs if I haven't at least gone to talk to the Jarl, because as I said earlier, when you're playing with alternate start mods, the main game, there's coding that changes things, scripts that change the order and sequences and activators. So a lot of these characters won't activate properly or sometimes at all. So I like to make sure that the game knows, okay, the main quest, the first part opening sequence is done, the execution's done, the dragon attack's done, the cave escape is done. Okay. You can just pause it if you want to read all that. I've read it like a million times. So I'm going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go looting. Go looting. Get me some swag. I need to make some money. Give me that money, honey. Give me that money, honey. Also to note, people who follow me for my Morgan's Drag Race content, Season 4 is completely free and available on my Patreon. I did upload a YouTube reveal video. There will be Drag Race content coming to YouTube. I don't know if I'm going to put out the entire episodes on YouTube because I'm very paranoid about getting a copyright strike and having my channel taken away. I haven't really thoroughly backed up really any of my playthroughs, any of my videos. So if that channel is gone, that content is all gone. And I'm such like a unknown YouTuber that I doubt really there's anybody out there who's like, oh, we need to back up all of Starfang's content. Because if something happens to this guy, oh, we're not going to be able to, you know, it'll be gone. We won't, I mean, like, literally, who cares? Like, nobody, listen, on Starfang Plays, my main channel, I barely have over 30 followers, and this is almost 5 years now, 4 or 5 years since starting this channel. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. 4 years. Okay? I barely have that much. The views ratio is down. I'm not trying to go into a rant here. I'm just stating it how it is. The view count is down. In some cases, engagement is high. The views are up or high, but there's no commenting and there's little to no liking of videos, which is bizarre because the graphs are telling me that, oh, lots of people have viewed this video, they like it, but why aren't they commenting? Why aren't they liking it? It's common, proper fucking YouTube etiquette, but it's just not happening. So, I mean, look, I'm not going to delete your comment. If you're afraid that I'm going to let you fucking asshole and ban you, no. Like, if you post something shitty on my video that I interpret as a troll comment, because let's face it, the only reason you would do that anyway is because you are trolling. So if you're just posting like, hey, great video, I'd like to see more of this content, or hey, like the audio quality isn't quite as good in this video, like there's some, I noticed some audio glitching that would be great to hear. I don't want to hear I don't want to see just this video sucks. That tells me nothing. What about it do you not like? And don't say my voice, because I can't fucking change my voice. I'm not going to sit here and talk in a, you know, a fake voice, a falsetto, the entire stream. I'm not going to do that. Okay, now we're over encumbered again. The Dragonborn. You know what? This Stormcloak shit probably isn't really worth anything. That's worth 100. Oh look, I'm still over encumbered. How fun. You remember, kids, this is Helgen. This is where the beheadings took place. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of traumatized me when I saw it the first time. Like, I wasn't traumatized, but I thought, wow, right out the gate, and they're gonna cut my fucking character's head off. So that wasn't really a good feeling to start a game like that. I get they wanted to build this whole feeling of suspense or whatever, but I kind of felt like the character was just being treated like a common criminal, and then people weren't really sure why he's even like there, like why he's even up for execution on the list, because he's not on the list, so he should have been pulled to the side. Especially when the character is a fucking Dunmer, who would be the last person on Earth to work with the Nords. Yeah. Forget the list! We have to be sure. Send him to the block. Fucking bitch. Let's see. Yeah. And I still see people to this day try to figure out the recipe, the ingredients that makes Skyrim such an addictive, atmospheric game. And, you know, a lot of people, myself included, have given Bethesda shit over Skyrim being so, like, watered down and streamlined from Oblivion and even Morrowind. Like, look, Oblivion was streamlined from Morrowind. Morrowind was streamlined from Daggerfall. Okay, we can all agree to that. But Oblivion had very soulful music, had a soulful, beautiful atmosphere and world. It had... The UI was gorgeous. I don't think there's any treasure in here, is there? The UI was gorgeous. That actual, you open up an actual fucking leather-bound journal. Wait, what? There was some UI I had that made it sound like a leather journal. Like it made the sound effect of a book, you know, the lock, the latch opening and everything. It was very reminiscent of Oblivion. Of course, Skyrim, we can't have nice things. But see, more than a decade after its release, it's still the most played out of all these games. And yeah, Morrowind still receives mods. Oblivion occasionally receives mods. There's Daggerfall Unity. It's kind of sad because Oblivion is a gorgeous game. And it has really beautiful, like I said, UI, the whole leather-bound journal and everything. Imperial Shield. How much you want to bet I can find those in Solitude? But, yeah. I think Oblivion gets a bad rep because the characters are very ridiculously cartoony. Going from the very serious Morrowind to these elves who act and look like Smurfs. And people who basically just sound and act like they're from a Hanna-Barbera cartoon in the 70s. I can, you know, it's like I almost said, if only you took Skyrim and put that in Oblivion's setting, like the seriousness of that, or Morrowind, it would be perfect. Because I felt like Skyrim was almost a perfect balance, but they took away so much. They got rid of mysticism. They totally dumbed down the UI. It's so generic, and I know you can say, oh, well, Morrowind's is generic. I would figure that from Oblivion going forward, you would want to make things better, not worse. And that leads back to my whole not having any faith or confidence. See, people, this is where the beheadings occurred. Me not having any faith in Elder Scrolls 6 because it's not going to be another Morrowind. Like, oh, they knocked it out of the park and they killed it with this one. I don't believe it. Oh, it's a cast iron pot. I was like, what is that? I don't want your fucking pot, goddammit. Yeah, how many people actually say that this day and age? I don't want your pot, goddammit. Yeah, not that kind of pot. Save it real quick. It's almost been an hour and a half since I first started recording. And I'm just kind of tracing the vanilla game's footsteps here. We're not going back into Helgen. Well, technically we are, because the cave is directly attached to Helgen, and there are some items in the cave that I want to loot. There are some, like, bags of gold and whatnot. I can't just leave to the elements. So, yeah, TLDR, if you're just tuning in, this is a brand new alternate reality of Autumnal Dunmer, the same rules and criteria and parameters apply as before. No cheating. Exploits and glitches are fine. You can count that as cheating, but when I say cheating, I mean mods that are specifically meant to cheat, i.e. cheat room, summon gold spell, very obviously cheats. We're earning gold from completing quests and selling loot. And selling, like, hides from, like, you know, slain beasts and whatnot. You cannot wait in this look. Well, how do I know there's enemies in here? Well, there's not supposed to be. Look. One time I played through this fucking... I think the last time I did the whole, you know, you're supposed to be lying there in pain. You don't have time to complain. There we go. 40 gold. Ooh. The last time I played through this on Autumnal Dunmer. Let me save it real quick. The game's probably not going to crash, but I don't know if there's going to be another power surge or not. In fact, here, I'm going to stop this recording and start another one.